Hey there, and welcome back to the Virtual Cafe for another coffee convo about business finances. I'm your host, Kerry Zarb, and I am joined by Kim White. We invite you to join us at our table with your favourite brew. Let's pull up our chairs and get into today's episode. Come on, let's go. It's coffee time.
Hello, Kim.
Hey, Kerry.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Kim, my coffee's a bit funky today.
Oh, no, Kerry. Not in the virtual cafe. It can't be.
Well, we had a bit of an incident, and Kim, you know, I actually worked this out the other day and I shared this with you, that Delilah has been in my possession for almost 4 years.
I think that is wild, Kerry.
Oh, I know. And when I did the maths, that she has produced the value of $24,000 worth of coffee in that 4 years. So what I did, Kim, you know I love my numbers, and I actually went, okay, I did the maths by an average of 3 cups per day consumed by moi at an average of $4 per cup if I was buying retail. And I think I came up with, don't quote me here, people, 17,000, 17 something, 17.2, whatever it is. And then I told my husband, and he turned around and said, well, I think 3 is a little light because that might not be true. So we changed it to an average of 4, because on days like today when there's been 5, you know, so the average became 4. So at $4 a cup over 4 years, 365 days in a year, because Kerry loves being in the virtual cafe, it was $24,000. Pretty impressive number, Kim.
Pretty impressive.
However, Delilah and I have not always been friends, and today was one of those days. The coffee was just a little bit not quite right today, Kim.
Can I just say for anyone who's listening, Delilah is not a human. Delilah is the coffee maker, because I don't want anyone to think that she's a barista on staff, Kerry. We laugh and say she is, but she is actually a coffee machine.
She really is. However, I do speak to her like a human, Kim. I have to confess, in the morning when she beeps at me and says, fill my tank, I'm like, Delilah, really? We haven't had a cup yet? You're so demanding. And then by, morning o'clock, she's like, empty my grounds. And I'm like, really, Delilah? And here's the best part, Kim. When she beeps for the water and you do that, and then she beeps for the grounds container, oh man, it's just whole next level. Like, you should hear me. I'm like, really? Really? Is that how we're playing today? Oh my God, no.
Everybody should have Delilahs.
Oh, definitely. She has served me well. Touch wood, count to 10, all the things. We don't always get along every single day, but generally, we're okay. But the coffee was funky today, Kim.
Funky in what way, Kerry? I'm scared to ask.
Well, I think coffee machines need a bit of maintenance, and sometimes Kerry likes to push the boundaries with the maintenance schedule, and I have since discovered that it's not the milk company's problem, it's not the cows eating the spring grass, it is not all of those things that I have been defunking with myself. It is actually the operator, which is me, not Delilah.
So we should probably give a little backstory out loud. Kerry has had, I'm going to say, very serious battle going on with the milk not being right. And it has been because the cows were eating a certain kind of grass, because the cows were off, because there's been a lot of things to Kerry.
Kim has been witness to all of my complainings about the coffee that Delilah has been producing, and the milk farmers that are giving me the milk that have got issues. And all this time, I may have now discovered, let's be fair here, it's only been 4 years for me to work this out. Like the things on social media that I was 35 when I found out, or I was 40 something when I found out. Well, Kerry took 4 years to learn how to operate a coffee machine. What can I say?
So are you going to share, Kerry, at least a tidbit of what happened?
What happened was that I think there is value in the instruction manual. There is value in the maintenance schedule. We don't go and service our cars for no reason by kilometres or by time. Coffee machines are no different. There you have it. We have defunct the coffee machine. Shall we move on to business finances, Kim?
So, Kerry.
But before we do, I've got one other thing that I have to say, and it's more of a debunk than a defunk, if I can be honest. Kim, we recently, just in the last month or so, we recently celebrated me reaching 300 episodes of podcasting.
We did, Kerry.
And it was fantastic. And you put on all the bells and whistles, which was great, and I'm forever grateful, Kim. However, for anyone tuning in right now, they're looking at this number going, hang on, this is number 181. How does one get to 300 episodes when they're a few weeks ago probably at 178 when we celebrated my 300 episodes? So I'm just tying it all in together for anyone that's following social media, tuning into Good Morning Entrepreneurs, which is on YouTube, by the way. It was actually a celebration of 300 episodes that I have hosted or co-hosted across multiple podcasts. I just wanted to clear the air, Kim. Is that okay?
I love it, Kerry. And I have to tell this little bit of a story, Kerry, with this, because we are defunking and debunking in this episode. And that is, I remember a time when you wanted to stop podcasting. I remember you being in a funk of, and nobody would be on my side. I kept trying to talk you out of it, and no one was on my side, Kerry. Everybody was on your side of just quit. Go ahead, quit. I am here to say out loud how grateful I am you didn't quit, because I've learned so much from you and how many things I would have still been, struggling with. And the virtual cafe was a huge, huge gift to me, and I'm sure everyone else who's listening, that you didn't quit and you're still here, because it does get frustrating when we do something for a while and we feel like there's something, like we're not getting the traction or we're not whatever. And I think we do get in a funk, Kerry. And I think that's what happens to all of us, and especially Kerry, just saying, in the business finance arena.
Oh, yes. Kim, oh my God, you are singing to the choir, because I think all of us as entrepreneurs have hit these little funky patches in multiple aspects of our business. Sometimes you feel like all of your marketing efforts are being unseen, unheard, unrecognized. You feel like you're putting in all this time and energy and you're getting nothing in return. You might be doing the same kind of efforts across your website, building new pages, doing special deals in the things that you're selling. You might be working on sales pitches and marketing campaigns, like all the things, Kim. And sometimes when we're not seeing the results, when we're not feeling success, the funk follows really fast. And that's with a capital F. It is a big funk, let me say that. F-U-N-C. No, K. However, it's a real feeling, Kim, and it sits in your tummy, it gets in your head, and you just feel icky. You just don't feel good about yourself. So I feel like this is something that we need to say out loud, and something that we need to talk about out loud, because we all feel it. We all have moments. And if anything's going to do it to you, high chance it's going to be your business finances. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble. However, it's a real thing, because the numbers can get in your head. Sometimes they don't make sense. Sometimes you look at them and just like almost get cross-eyed, kind of tunnel vision, like blurry and all the things. And trying to get past that feeling, get past the ick, get out of the funk. Whew, it's a tall order, Kim. It's a tall order.
It is, Kerry, but I will say you have led that charge. You have led the charge of building confidence in others around you who might get that icky feeling, who might have been in a funk. But look at what all you have done to influence all the people around you. I mean, we're in the virtual cafe, and what if the virtual cafe didn't exist? What if, and this is stuff I think about, what if you let your funk talk you out of your business? What if you let your funk talk you out of doing whatever it is you're doing? I just think that that's such a shame to even consider that, because all of our businesses matter. And Kerry, you helping me And I'm just going to be selfish and say, you helping me has been a big deal to me. You helping everybody around us has been a big deal to each person. Can you imagine a funk being the problem that cost everybody around you, like, to give up? Because if you're going to give up, I'm going to give up. And it's contagious. So how can we, Kerry, not be contagious with our funk? And how can we defunk our business finances and the way we feel about them?
So, Kim, I'm going to give some advice, and it comes from a place of doing this myself, but I don't think it's going to be popular, Kim.
Do tell, Kerry, do tell.
Okay. When I've been in a funk about something in and around my business, I keep it to myself. To a point, Kim. I don't go and tell all of my friends, oh my God, I feel like rubbish. Oh my God, oh, poor me. Oh, like, I don't go and do that, because I'm self-confessing and reminding myself that I'm in a funk, which I think makes the funk last longer. It's almost like when I woke up this morning, Kim, no word of a lie. I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, I've got a bit of a sore throat. Okay. And I was kind of like, touching my right gland just under my chin type of thing. You don't feel so crash hot. Okay, on with the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's mentality to what we do. And this is not psychological kind of advice, by the way. This is just personal opinion. So I don't really share it with others. And not that I won't say anything. I may say to people, I'm just not myself at the moment. That's about as far as I go. Because the more I share, the more I say out loud, the more I believe it, and the more contagious it is for myself. Not even thinking about what it's doing to others. But the other side of this too, Kim, is how do we get past it, and not in the spreading of the funk, but how do we get over the funk? And sometimes we've got to sit in the suck of the funk for a while. I never tell anyone to put off working on their business finances. But if you are in a serious funk, you might just have to put it on the shelf for a little bit, if that's where the funk is coming from, if that's the piece that you're struggling with and you're really in quicksand over the business finances, you have to walk away. Not forever, just for a piece of time, to give yourself that break. It might be a day, it might be a week, and I don't really want anyone to go past that. But you do need to give yourself some space, because if you try to force through it, if you're really in the funk, it ain't gonna work, Kim.
Kerry, I think you're onto something, because when we fight the wrong battle, like when we're trying to fight through something, sometimes when we get in a funk, we just need to rest. We need a break. We need a nap, or we need to sleep on it overnight, or whatever it is. Kerry, I'll tell you something else that you've shown me along the way, and that is when I have gotten into a funk about something, it's usually because I don't understand something. It can be from tired, that's a real thing. But it also can be from, I need to learn something. I need to understand why this is not making sense to me, or I need to understand. So I do think, Kerry, setting myself up with some sort of a learning or asking a question in the right way. A lot of people go out into the social platforms, I'm just going to keep it very broad, thinking that they can just find the answers out there, but there's so much bad information, Kerry. It makes it really hard, and it makes it feel like the funk gets deeper sometimes. So let me just say that out loud, Kerry.
Kim, I completely agree. I've been stuck on some little things around the business finances, more so spreadsheets, I'll confess, because I love spreadsheets, but I'm not an expert at driving a spreadsheet. I have to go to a social platform and look for the answer sometimes. If you're not careful, a few hours later and you've got it 50,000 different ways and you still don't know what the actual answer is. So I hear you, Kim. I hear you. You start digging yourself a hole if you're not careful, and the funk gets thicker and thicker by the moment. So I'm with you, Kim. Twins again.
So let me just say this for the record, Kerry, and I know you hate when I do this, but it's the truth, is if I get in a funk about something, I go to you a lot of times, Kerry, because then that way I get the right answer, I can move on quickly, and that whole icky feeling starts to dissipate, it starts to go away, because you are addressing what's really the problem instead of the icky feeling that I've turned it into. Because I think it's kind of like Delilah back to the milk and the funk. Sometimes we need to clean up our mess, or we need to clean up our nozzle, whatever that was called. Sometimes we have to do that and get a fresh start in that minute. But we need to do it with the knowledge or the understanding of what it is that we're trying to do. So you have done that for me, Kerry, I'm just gonna say, and I think you've done it for a whole lot of other people in the virtual cafe.
Thank you, Kim. You're so sweet. And by the way, everyone, while she's not paying attention, I go to Kim in exactly the same way when I get stuck in business things. So it always sounds like here, Kim's always coming to me, getting help from me. It goes the other way too. So we're kind of like, swapping a bit here. Yes. Don't shake your head. It's true. You know it's true.
You're so funny, Kerry. I just don't want anybody in a funk. We don't have to be.
No funk allowed. All the funks be gone. Yes. F-U-N-K. It's the words, Kim. You know it's the words.
I always am concerned when whatever Kerry's spelling starts with an F. So just be clear.
Oh, that's real. Well, Kim, thank you for having this conversation with me in the virtual cafe. I think we should grab some takeaways and get out of here.
Well, tell Delilah hi for me.
I will. She'll come out of the naughty corner tomorrow and we'll be friends again. So, yes, I will. I will see you next week, Kim.
Bye, Kerry.
Bye, Kim. Thanks for joining us in the virtual cafe. You can follow the show to be notified of future episodes, and if you're enjoying this podcast, we encourage you to leave a rating or personal review. Until next time, happy biz beans to you. No beings were harmed during the production of this podcast. Information contained in this podcast should be taken as general advice only, and your personal circumstances have not been taken into account. It is recommended that you seek financial advice from a professional who is licensed to do so. If you choose to act upon the general advice shared, you do